I'm Amanda Silliker for Canadian HR Reporter TV. Larry Wilson is the Vice President of Health and Safety Training supplier Electrolab. He spoke with us at the Partners in Prevention Conference about the role of compliance in workplace injuries. Why do you say that complacency is the silent killer?
Well, because quite often with violent crime, you've got the gunshots, you've got the screaming, you've got the yelling. And with complacency, quite often it's sort of just the opposite. It's a blue sky day. You can almost kind of hear the birds chirping and singing. Nobody's really worried about anything. And just all of a sudden, bam, and the next thing you know, a car has hit a pedestrian at a crosswalk. A bicycle's come right out in front of a transport truck. Complacency leading to mind not on task or mind not on risk. When you know what you're doing and you know what the risk is, but you're not thinking about it at all, like driving your car, that's everywhere. Now, kind of like fire, you need a spark, you need fuel, and you need oxygen. Well, for an acute injury, you need at least one source of hazardous energy, chemical, electrical, thermal, or mechanical. You obviously need a person, and you need something unexpected happening. But if you think about the complacency thing in the fire, it's like the oxygen, it's everywhere. So in industry, there's been a tendency to focus a lot more on the spark and the fuel than on the oxygen, which is sort of everywhere. You got people working at your company for 5, 10, 15 years. The likelihood that they're scared of the hazards anymore is about the same as the likelihood that you're scared of driving.
How can employers make sure their employees aren't becoming too complacent?
First of all, is the easy things like the signs and the slogans and the posters. Just recognize if that worked, would have already worked. Okay, so there's only so much marginal effect with those kinds of things. But if you're not thinking about what you're doing, complacency leading to mind not on task, then you just got to teach people then that what will happen then is that your behavior, if you're not thinking about what you're doing, your behavior will be what you do normally or automatically or habitually. Right? So we're going to need to get people to put some effort into improving their safety-related habits. Like, for instance, moving your eyes before you move your hands, your feet, your body, or most importantly, your car. What employers need to do is provide things like refresher training, but they need to make sure that the refresher training isn't carbon copy of the initial training, because that might actually make people more, show them the same WMIS video, that might actually make people more complacent about handling chemicals, reading labels, and material safety data sheets than if you showed them something new, which got them thinking a bit more. Or if they already know about the stuff, maybe now show them, a videotape of somebody who had a wicked chemical burn, and maybe that might help fight the complacency for a while.